Yes, sir.
Booska.
We back.
Oh, we live. We back. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We back at it again. Back at it again.
Welcome to the journey's path.
My boy. Yes, sir.
Every path has a journey. Every journey has a path, and we are here to talk about our journey.
Yes, we are, and hopefully soon you'll be here to talk about your journey with us as well.
We are looking for interviewees.
Definitely. This is episode 2. It's episode 2, so we already got stuff rolling out for y'all. Already working. We here to hear you, so y'all can hear more about the journey, the path, the journey's path. Yeah, man. Real quick before we go any further, anybody, small business or whatever you got out there, you want to get promoted, whatnot, y'all can send us something. You feel me? DM us, send us a message, hit us up. You feel me?
Send us the shirt.
That's a great shirt. That's
Come on.
A great shirt.
Come on now.
I'm over here supporting Nike. I'm just
just do it.
Today. Just do it sometime. This is a nice sweater.
This is a nice sweater. I like that. That's a nice color.
I don't even remember where I got it from, but you know what? If you got it for me, thank you. And if I bought it myself, thank you. But today, man, we're gonna talk about our journey through elementary school, middle school, and high school. I think middle school is the only time we didn't spend a year together.
Yeah, we did go to different middle schools, but elementary school, we went to the same elementary school for like a year.
Yeah,
that's our MO. We'll go to the same school. Our parents will let us chill for the same school for a year, and then
you're like, nah, they gotta go. They gotta get them out of there.
They can't be in the same school.
Send them away.
Them teachers knew our names.
Our what, boy, was we get in trouble Monday through Friday. We in trouble on Saturday and Sunday too, because we gotta come to church, and the church gonna know we did bad.
Yeah, there wasn't no playing with that. Somebody knew something about us.
Somebody always knew something, man. But so yeah, we're gonna talk about our journey. So let's start elementary. 244.
244 on Tilden.
Both went to PS 244. A lot of my cousins went to 244. Shout out to my cousins. They were some great influences.
Nah, there's no backstory on that one.
There's no backstory on that one.
You won't get that.
Family, if y'all see this, y'all know what's up, man. I always love y'all to death. That ain't never gonna change. But yeah, that experience was interesting.
What do you remember about 244 though?
I was a bad kid. Man, was I bad, bro. Oh my God. I was absolutely horrible in 244, man. I was a kid that was very impressionable. When parents say, or when people say, yo, video games really hurt kids, that was me. I was one of those. I had every SmackDown versus Raw.
That's a fact.
I was trying to RKO you in the lunchroom. I was trying to punch you in your chest. I was just overall a bad kid, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think the biggest thing that stood out to me that year, and I'll never forget it, was one day my mom picked me up from school, and they had this horrible story about me, and it was true. I did everything they said I did.
He said I did it.
Everything they told my mom, word for word, I was in the back of the car like, yeah, I did that. I did that too. Oh, shit, I definitely did that.
Oh man.
And yeah, man, just to see the distress on her face as a second grader, I'd never forget that. I was like, damn, I need to change. Life decisions in the back of the car, man. Oh man, I gotta change. Eventually, it was the environment, man. The environment had influenced me. Like I said, I was an impressionable young kid, only child. Parents worked extremely hard. I wasn't a latchkey kid. I always had somebody home when I came home. But it was just a lack of people to talk to most of the time and whatnot. So for me, it was just a bad experience. It was a bad situation because of the fact that I was also accelerated from my daycare before I got to 244. So shout out to Miss Joseph. Shout out to Danielle's Educated for the Future. I don't know if y'all are still open, but they had me very, very highly accelerated to the point where I was doing 2 grade levels math and reading by the time I got to 244, and they put me in the 2nd grade, so I was bored with the schoolwork. I got my homework done during lunchtime, so I had nothing to do but just mess around when I had got home. So,
I feel like that's always the case, with kids that are put ahead. they know they can do the work, they get bored with it easily, and then they become, I wouldn't say a distraction, but it's easy to be distracted at that point because you're not feeling challenged.
100%. 100%. I was super, super distracted by anything. I was hanging out after school by my cousins, playing Madden, anything, any game, Final Fantasy, and then it's like, Brandon, what's your homework? I got hundreds on my homework because I was ahead of the curve, but that impressioned me to being a somewhat bad kid. And yeah, they got me up out of there, man. They got me up out of there, man. Went to a little Catholic school from 3rd grade to 8th grade. And then 8th grade, after that, we spent our 1 year of high school together.
That was real fun. ABCD Academy. Well, Academy of Business and Community Development. ABCD.
My shout out to Mr. Cole. It was a whole purple and gold theme for the Q. So Mr. Cole, if you ever seeing this, Mr. Munchez, I remember your name. I will never forget you. You tried to play me and my man's David to come to that salsa class, talking about you was getting the girls up the block at the school.
Cat.
Come down.
Cat.
And it was all cat. You lied to us, Mr. Munchez. The only girls we ever seen was the ones for the suspension site, and my mom won't let me talk to them. So it's your fault. If you ever see this, I did not ever forget you.
Yes, it was an all-boys school.
Yes, it was.
It was actually, I ended up, technically I didn't graduate from there because they ended up closing down my junior year. Shit happens, you hear me?
I left after 9th grade.
He said, I'm done, bro. I need females. He's like, I'm out of here.
All of my stories, I've always gone to different schools. So
hey, man, there's nothing wrong with switching it up a little bit.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. But when you play Yu-Gi-Oh in the playground and having 2-hour recesses after lunch, you know, your parents tend to look at you like, what are you actually learning there?
Yeah, I turned out all right.
You did. I didn't even mad at you. Exactly. That's my point. They was mad at me because I was beating out everybody else in Yu-Gi-Oh and in math class. That's not my fault. Right?
I'm just gifted.
And then they got mad at me. Mr. Wu, you added me on Facebook. I'm not going to forget this for you, too. Shout out to Mr. Wu with the Madden Club upstairs. I ain't going to forget.
That was lit.
It was. My parents was vexed when they found out I was playing Madden during lunch. They was like, this is what you do during lunch. And I'm like, yeah. You see my report card?
That's easy. This is a breeze.
It's a breeze, man. But what do you remember about 244, man?
I think her name is Miss Anger or Miss Anger, something like that. But I remember she was like my 1st grade teacher, and she like really looked out for me. She looked out for me. I mean, outside of that, I feel like that's when I started going home on my own. So if most of y'all don't know, I'm the youngest of 16 kids.
I have no siblings.
That's actually a really interesting thing about this. Like, you really have no siblings, but I have like mad siblings.
Mad siblings. I have zero.
I'm the youngest between both my parents. I'm the only kid between them. You know, Papa was a Rolling Stone. That's all. You feel me? But it was interesting because like now, like my dad used to live off Kings Highway over there, so he used to take me, he would drop me, and then he'll pick up some other kids. So it was just like all of that used to be just like, man, all right, this is what school's like. And then I felt like I don't remember really being I wouldn't consider, you ain't rub off on me being a bad kid. You feel me? I don't think that. It was just more like, it was just like, yo, I'm ready to get out of here. Like, what we doing here? School, I don't think school was ever like a real challenge. For me, it was just more of like you said, like being challenged, and then also not being distracted by like whatever is there. Because you need to be able to like focus.
That's a fact.
Talk about school now, we have a different conversation.
Whole different conversation.
But leading into like even graduating from there, I feel like I don't remember too many bad memories. Like everything used to be like copacetic, you feel me? Like I never really developed anything from there. But middle school, that was a different breed, bro. Like,
and you stayed there all the way to 8th grade?
Nah, it was, so PS244 was only up to 5th grade. Okay. And then I went to North Star Academy, MS340.
Okay.
Shout out to y'all.
Yes.
That was pretty cool. Like, that school made me get accustomed to having like smaller classrooms and being able to be more connected with my teachers and like counselors and stuff like that. It was a great school. Like, I remember there, that's where I picked up skateboarding. Yes, I used to skateboard. Don't believe the hype. I used to skateboard. That was
they used to still fry you for skateboarding, bro.
I was alright though. I just had a fear of falling, so the shit ain't really work out for me because I had to get past that fear. Other though, I do equate me wanting to become a camera person from then, because I used to really watch like skateboarding videos. I'm like, yo, who's recording this stuff? They used to
record skateboard videos. I feel you.
Even funny. I found like a VCR tape recorder, and it has like some footage of me and my friends in middle school like skateboarding outside of Brooklyn Museum.
That's dope.
That's pretty. Yeah.
That's dope.
We might throw that in like a little clip here if we really can. I guess convert that. Convert.
Probably do that. Yeah.
They got to do that at this point.
Between your camera skills, my tech skills,
We'll find out.
sky's the limit.
You'll see the clip.
You'll see it.
But then that's when middle school was a little rough. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was still like developing my own personality, because like growing up on my mom raised me a lot more during this period of my life. My dad was still around. He moved to Florida, so even during the summers, that's when I used to go down to Florida for the summers and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I remember those summers. I ain't gonna lie, I was lonely them summers, man.
My man just to be out here just like, bro, what's up? Where you at, bro?
Like, my parents throwing me in all these whack summer camps and whatnot. You was the worst. You was the worst. Y'all still owe me a football.
Oh no.
Owe me a football. I got into like 4 fights over there. Like, we're not even gonna get into how bad y'all was, but that's neither.
That's right. Speaking of fights, so my 8th grade year of middle school, was it 8th grade? No, I think it was 7th grade. So 7th grade, I was playing basketball with my friends, like a couple of blocks down around the corner. And this was the first time, this basically led to the first time I ever got lost in New York City. Like, they thought I was like, they couldn't find me, anything like that. I was supposed to be going to a court case. I got jumped. Jumped bad. Like, it was an interesting conversation. That's all I'm gonna say. It was real interesting. Always pulled up on us. We were playing basketball. They were like on the outside of the gate. They were like, yo, y'all want to play ball? We was like, nah, we about to finish up. We out. So we finishing up. They come around the gate. And I think we just stopped playing, bro. Everybody started packing. I think we finished. They watched us finish. We packing our stuff. It's like, oh, so y'all not going to play, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, bro, we not going to play. We about to leave. Like, you just seen us finish.
Going home.
Oh, I guess I took too long, because I'm like the last person in the group. Everybody's like, because it's like a long gate, then it's the opening, and then you basically see the same way going back up the block. We get outside the fence now. I'm behind. My friends is up there. Then their group of people surround me, and then one dude goes over my shoulder. Boom, right here. Like, all right here was swollen. I remember that same day I came here to the church. It was something happening here. It was mad people here. They took my Metro card. They had like whatever, like I guess a Walkman. I don't know what I was using. Facts. It was like an MP3 player. I had my Metro card. They took that off me. I had like maybe like $3 in cash. I'm like, bro, y'all really not getting nothing from me right here. Like,
y'all just wasting y'all time.
Facts, because now it just ended up fast forwarding. My mom, you know how my mom is. My mom, she's like a dog with a bone. She ain't gonna let it go. Like, you mess with her child, it's a wrap. It's over, bro. So she's like, all right, we going into the school. You gonna point them out, blah, blah, blah. Lead to come to find out. I was like, yo, they've been doing shit before, and it was just like, bro, it was like I didn't want to do it anymore. But nah, my mom wasn't having it. She's like, we going. So I ended up getting lost trying to go to the courthouse downtown Brooklyn. I get on the wrong bus, bro. This is pre cell phone. So,
bro,
I at least had to be like, I got my first one at 12. So I had to be like 11 or 10.
And they didn't even have maps back then, so you couldn't even map out your route. You had to know where you was going before you got
there. Bro, word. It used to be really like, yo, you got to jump on this bus.
Take it 4 stops, get off, go down the block, go this way.
Yo, directions used to be real different.
Bro, I'll tell y'all right now, my mother works for the MTA. The amount of directions that she's giving me, bus terminology, I've been there like, huh?
What's she talking about?
What? Like, yo, just tell me how many stops, where to go left, where to go right. And I do want to point out, don't try to jump him now. It won't turn out well for you. Just leave that there.
That's a fact, bro. Yeah?
Don't try it now.
You crazy?
Don't try it.
Nah, I don't even support I don't support no violence against people. You feel me? I'm not even that type of guy. It was crazy though, because now I feel like even now that helped me just develop. Like at the end of the day, like that made me at that point really stand up for myself. Like, yo, I'm never going through that again.
Facts.
I would never go through that again. Like, you would have to up it on me, bro. I'm not gonna hold you. You have to up it on me, bro. Like, I'm not. not going down like that. Honestly, it's not even worth it. Honestly, that material stuff, I'd rather walk away. I'm glad I walked away from it because, you feel me, like, it could have been a way worse situation. However,
$3 in the Metro card.
Right.
And all they're going to do is cut the Metro card up the next day. You're going to get a new one. Like, you can take it, bro.
Yeah, it was.
Bro.
So I guess leading into middle school, how was middle school for you?
Yo, middle school, I was a nerd. I went from fighting and being a bad kid to being an absolutely model student in this Catholic school, bro. I don't know what happened. I immediately got to the school, and first of all, the school was named Our Lady Help of Christians. That is the OG name before we had gotten combined with St. Thomas and some other school. I forget what the other middle school was. And then we turned it to Midwood Catholic Academy. You know, that's the new name that we had for like 2-3 years before I graduated. But I was a complete geek and nerd, bro. Like, I'm talking about, I was in the band, I played trumpet, I was on the honor roll.
You sound awfully skilled, my friend. That's what it sounded like.
I was vice president in 8th grade.
Come on now.
Like,
vote for Brandon.
Yo, it was vote for Brandon. Bro. Listen, if you was there in 8th grade, we didn't really do nothing, but it was nice to have the title.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, man, I was a complete complete nerd and geek throughout middle school all the way up till 8th grade. Yeah, my life completely switched, man. It was shout out to all the friends I made in middle school. You know, y'all still here. Some of y'all remember me, some of y'all don't. In school, I remember y'all.
You had the beard in middle school. Let it be known, he's been growing that beard since he was like 12.
I ain't gonna lie, mama. We gonna get into that. This whole beard journey and whatnot. It's been a struggle.
We got clips, bro. My man been growing that for years.
Y'all gonna see some pictures of me without a beard and with hair. I decided to do the first couple episodes with no hat, so y'all know I'm bald. So that when I start wearing hats, y'all not surprised and y'all not scared. You feel me? You gotta go back and learn something. Learn. You gonna see, man. But yeah, I got all the way up to 8th grade. I was chilling. Like, I made so many different friends. I was doing so many different things. Like, that's when the iPod Touch came out. Like, we was playing Tap Revenge and
yo, it was the IMAX, bro. We used to have computer lab.
Yeah, we used to have computer lab, bro. I remember. But yeah, that was my thing, man. I was the band geek. I was always on the trumpet. I was in honor band and all that stuff. So.
I didn't even know not to cut your wisdom, but it was funny because I didn't even tell him at the panel, like, yo, I used to think I was gonna go to college to be in like a drum major. Drumline changed my life, bro. Drumline changed my life. I thought I was about to be in here on full scholarship. I'm like, nah, bro.
Listen, man. If you was a young man that went to charity, you was on part of the drum ministry, you felt the same way.
Word.
Drumming was your life.
Yo, we really gotta talk about that though. That was really like where we.
Drum ministry was life changing.
It was like we used to go on tour. We used to have a yearly jazz.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're gonna talk about.
We got some topics for y'all.
We got some drums for y'all. We gotta get some drums for y'all, man. But yeah, middle school was it was chill. Like I said, I made some friends, and some of them I don't talk to anymore. But
that's life.
That's life. It really wasn't nothing too crazy. I was in a new environment. The people were different. You know, I got a lot more restrictions growing up as a kid, so I stayed away from the fighting and all that. And it was, you know, the all around environment was a little bit more positive for me. And, you know, I kind of grew into the person I kind of wanted to be, you know, the kind of chill, easygoing kind of Brandon that some of you may get to know and some of you already know. So that was it for me. And then, you know.
So what's high school like?
Then came that first year of high school.
ABCD, my guys.
ABCD.
Shout out to the Bulldogs.
Shout out to the Bulldogs, man. That first year, man. Yo, I don't know what it was. But that first year to me was it was so much fun.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun.
Good times.
I'm not gonna lie. The people that we met, you know, the people that we was cool with, you know, we was in the middle of Gang Central in the middle of the school. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
It was pretty crazy over there.
Everywhere, but we was cool with everybody. So it was like, we was chilling. We met people that first year, you know, again, unchallenged. Top of our classes, got bored. You know, ended up spending classes playing Yu-Gi-Oh! In the cafeteria. Don't judge me. Yu-Gi-Oh! Takes a great amount of thought to know how to win.
I ain't gonna lie, it was a great show.
It was
also a great game to be played.
Great game. It was a great game. It was so many. When you think about strategies and whatnot, that's
The real no.
one of the games that come in there.
The real no.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Don't judge us, but the real no.
Don't judge at all. Feel me? So, yeah, we used to have fun out there, man. But it's funny because we're best friends in high school, but our friend circle was completely different. Like it was completely different. I was hanging out with Mike, the twins, my son, Mister.
Yo, Mister.
Shout out to you, Mister.
Yeah.
And we're not joking. Like we're not faking.
That was really his name. Right? His government.
Mister.
Yeah, government
Mister,
name.
if you see this, you see this. You feel me?
You
was that guy.
You that guy, bro.
You was that guy. So it was cool. You know, we met a lot of people. You know, there was a lot of different things for me. But I feel like at the end, of course, what my parents saw was I was unchallenged. I was unmotivated. I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do. I was still averaging like a 90 average, so I was still keeping afloat. But you know, just to see that I wasn't doing what I was supposed to do, it was just terrible for them. You know, we were being pushed by our teachers, Mr. Wool, Mr. Cologne. He was the teacher. Yo, Mr. Cologne was a G in Spanish, bro. I swear, he was the best. Mr. Wool, Mr. Cologne, Mr. Matsui.
Mr. Matsui, history.
Kemp, listen, I don't care what y'all say. She had the most fire tattoos. Take it out how you want. Her tattoos was
yo. She
had the full sleeve. She was
based off a book.
Yeah,
she was our English teacher based off a book.
Teacher. Her whole sleeve was based off of all stories that she read. She actually really got me into like wanting to read more while I was there, you know. And then there was Miss Price, who used to Miss Price was from the hood. She used to let us know like, yo, you messing up, bro. Like
the real, everybody always has that person in school that tells them like, yo, pick it up or.
That's a fact. Miss Nelson used to be that way with me. You remember Miss Nelson, the science teacher? Yo, I remember I was about to punch boy in his face, and Miss Nelson was like, "Brandon, stop, bro." I never forget, bro. That was probably one of my only fights, bro. I almost fought him, and she was like, "Brandon, don't do it. You're gonna get kicked out." Like I remember, she was the only reason I actually stopped because I actually enjoyed being in her class, bro. But I'm not violent anymore, guys.
I'm not anymore.
I'm a very nice person, a very gentle person, you know. Then I went to BCA, you know, shout out to BCA, and you know, I met some people that, you know, I consider my brothers, you know, man. Just like I consider you my brother, they also my brothers, man, too. You know, they shout out to all of y'all, shout out to the whole swag, my whole swag team. We really became good friends after that, and you know, high school for me, from 10th grade to senior year was a different experience. Like I was surrounded by positive influences. I was surrounded by people that helped me think different. We did things differently, you know. It was a tough road trying to make new friends in the 10th grade, but you know, shout out to y'all bros is always good in my book. So that was the end of my high school. You know, I dropped the basketball team to go on the step team.
Hey,
shout out to Blackout. That was our original name. Me, Taylor, Kenneth, and Anaya. That was us. We started that. Don't let anybody take that from us. Anyway. But yeah, that was me for the rest of high school, man. It was cool. I had fun. You know, I ain't really get into no trouble. Ain't nobody really bothering me. I ain't bothering nobody. You know, not to mention my aunt worked on the campus we were going to school at. So if I really was doing something crazy, my aunt would just, it would be easy for my aunt to come outside and just slap me in my hand. My aunt was a little gangster, but that's neither here nor there. But man, what was the rest of your high school experience like after I left?
After I left, like my life just got way worse. It got way worse after you left.
I knew it wasn't the same. You feel me?
It definitely wasn't.
I was a little bit like, damn, when I left too, like that's my biz, and I don't really want to go no more. But I had to go. It wasn't my place.
I feel like it was interesting to say the least. Like that 9th grade year was more of me coming, like leaving that skateboard Dave, and then so like literally, I feel like because you left in 10th grade, that's when I started picking up basketball. And it's crazy because like literally, I didn't start playing organized ball till then.
I remember you didn't.
I didn't play any organized basketball, and that was honestly thankful for that because like, you know, like I don't mind growing up with just having the idea that, you know, sports wasn't, and I think that's also made it easier for me when college was done for me. It didn't feel like, oh man, I've been playing ball all my life, like I gotta make it to the league or I gotta get paid doing this. No, it was just something I ended up picking up, and I enjoyed doing it, and it made me become more active. And because I was a chubby kid, I'm not gonna lie, there's some weight on this body, you feel me? But it was just the fun part of learning something. And shout out to Omar, my man Omar Herrera.
You You still a good dude, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy because he taught me how to play basketball, bro. Like,
That's a fact.
he literally taught me how to play basketball that 10th grade year because then we ended up getting cool and we'll be in the gym. That's when so they weren't part of PSAL.
Okay. Yeah, I remember they weren't.
So that was even the other part of it. It was like, all right, I'm playing against schools that aren't really the big name schools in New York, but I'm still playing ball. I'm getting playing time. I'm like developing. I'm getting better, things like that. And it was real interesting because then when the school was like saying that they were shutting down and stuff like that, they basically, the only reason I ended up going, because I graduated from Benjamin Banneker. So after my 3 years at ABCD, from 9th to 11th, I transferred to Banneker for my senior year.
That was tough.
That was really crazy though.
Senior year, a whole new school, senior
Bro,
year.
but even, because even crazier, that wasn't the original school I was supposed to transfer to. I only transferred to Banneker because my coach at ABCD was cool with Banneker, with Saunders. And you know, Auntie Debbie know everybody.
Yeah.
So she, in the sports world, she knew everybody here. And it was just more of the opportunity arose. Like, we played a pickup game against each other. He came to check us out, and I guess he was like, yeah, I would like him to come to our school. And then I worked out this transfer papers. I ended up going to Banneker. The cool part about that was a lot of people that I went to elementary school or went at Banneker, and then some people I went to middle school with went to Banneker too. So it wasn't like a full
reset.
Yeah, I knew some people. They had their own friend groups, of course, but I would like being on the basketball team took up a lot of my time and also got me more like involved in the social stuff. So people knew me for being on the basketball team, which, you know, opened the door. I was tall, black, and handsome, so can't stop that. Can't stop it at all. However, on a lighter note, but even though I was in like, and that's the crazy part about relationships. Like, I was a relationship type of guy back in those days. Like, I used to always, and I'm still am, like, definitely in a faithful, happy relationship right now. But then as I got older, it was like, it was funny because that senior year, like, you know, being good at school has its perks. Because literally, I walked into that school with all my credits already. So me going there, I literally went there to play basketball. I'm not gonna hold you.
Didn't even have to go to class. Like, I went there for attendance.
Bro, I went to like that fall. That was when all my real classes were. But then by spring, I was getting out of school by like 1 o'clock. Come back. Well, I would have to come back for practice. But then after that, bro, I'll be chilling, bro. And it was cool because like it showed what hard work pays off. You know, like when you get to a point where you do the work before, there's no doubt that you're gonna be straight. So then I feel like after Banneker, I feel like Banneker was a great experience. I feel like if I would have transferred when you transferred, and I went to Banneker, I would have been a different person now. Definitely a different person. It would have been, I would have been more in tune with what, like, how New York was moving, because I felt like being in ABCD, it was like its own school. Like, when I used to tell people where I went to school, they were like, where?
Word. Some people would be like,
what? ABCD, what's that?
Word. Then you tell them it's on Marcy between Macon and Horsley. They be like,
oh, that's the hood, bro.
They're like, I see why I don't know that school.
But I feel me, I think it was still a great school. You feel me? Like, it was
definitely. The people definitely meant well.
It was black. Yeah, it was black. It was a black-owned school. Like, it was pretty crazy to even think about. Like, you know, these dudes put their ideas together, put their bread together, and created a school. And
they really was trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they impacted lives. You feel me? Like, they impacted our lives in some form or fashion. And everybody that we grew up with at that school, you know, they doing their own thing right now, doing how they doing. So
they're doing something.
Yeah, bro, they doing what they gotta do.
Still got friends from there that I still talk to. You feel me? Got a couple people that we still cool with that we met out there. There's a couple of stories I'll never forget. A couple of people I'll never forget from that school, for real. I ain't no lie. Like I said, shout out to you, Mr. Wu. We still friends on Facebook. You my guy. Mr. Wu was always funny.
Yo, I just thought about it. So last episode we didn't do our segment.
We did it. We're gonna do our segment.
So this is the start of our segment.
So what we're gonna do is at least once an episode, because David is proficient in video journalism and I've been doing my thing in IT. We're going to give you guys some tips and some things that you guys can use at home, and things if you're getting into tech or may not understand how to do certain things, just to help you out a little bit more and a little bit further. So I guess I'll do my segment first. On your website, you're able to see your devices. So for those of you who may have older parents and you're the younger one setting things up, make sure that you go in and you regularly check the devices.
Storytelling has always been something for me that has always developed me more. Like, developed me in my exposure, developed me in my communication skills, developed me as just a human being and as a man. Like, being able to hear somebody else's, it's like basically saying a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. We hope you get a ring.
Yo, D-Rose, you need one, bro.
However, he's still a Hall of Famer.
Oh, of course.
He put Chicago on his back.
Of course.
Come on now.
So you go with Derrick Rose, Derrick Rose point guard?
Yeah, Derrick Rose point guard.
For your first pick? Okay. Damn, Derrick Rose like what, 6'4"? That's some height at the point guard spot. For my second pick, this is where it get dicey, because you got to think. You know what? I'm not even tripping. Taking Allen Iverson at the 2.
All right.